Liam Kenny, the Geordie Journals. I'm absolutely loaded full of cold, so apologies if I sound a little bit, my voice goes a little bit during this live. But I thought I'd still try and deliver, no matter the result. Let's have a look to see what you guys are saying in the comments. I've got to say, there's plenty already on there. I'll make sure I've got my settings correct so I can see it all. Good to see you guys again. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we kick off. I won't be at Liverpool on Wednesday night. It'll just be Jordan there for Newcastle World. Obviously Dom will be there for the Geordie Journal, so there will be a full length analysis video that will come, but we won't have a live after the game. Just thought I'd let you guys know. And I managed to get tickets myself for the Brighton game in the ballot, so I'll not be doing a live for Brighton game as well. So this will be your only live for a little while. I think West Ham will probably be your next live after this one. Anyway, on to the day. I mean, has there ever been a more one-sided two halves of football? Newcastle United absolutely blitzed them in the first half. Could have been any score, particularly for 20 minutes. It was quite incredible. It was a proper throwback kind of 20 minutes where it was just every time they went forward they looked like scoring. Then the second half just being a really meek, passive, just really poor. I think as many questions as they answered. I remember saying at half time, like, that was the kind of performance that they needed after the questions that were posed in the Man City performance. People talking about one eye, Carabao Cup, etc., all that kind of thing. Thought that first half was past perfect almost. A stupid error for the first goal. Christ knows what Nick Pope was doing. I think he looked like he was marking his back post. He just lost his bearings altogether, I think. Really controversial decision to bring him back in, by the way. I'd be interested to know everybody's thoughts on that one. But I thought, apart from that little sort of error, that was the most frustrating thing about that was that it was a gift. You can't say they were a better team before that, they were a better team after it. And you just do worry in games like this where something, as the time goes on, you think, oh, could they let something slip? Could they let this game slip? But they didn't, they came back, really answered that. They kept their levels high in their first half. And like I say, absolutely blitzed it. Lewis Hall was unbelievable in that first half. Isak scored twice, wasn't really on his game, I didn't think today. Scored a deflected goal and a deflected penalty, but at the end of the day it didn't really make any difference. Look, Andy Gordon in that first half was electric. I thought Joe Willock was really good in the first half. Second half, to a man, was not one of them turned up. Where does that problem lie? Is it a motivation thing? Did you feel like the game was won because it wasn't won? I think in the end, if the game had gone on another 5-10 minutes, that would have ended up a draw. It didn't, of course. There was only 3 minutes on it, but if it'd been, if that'd been a 7 or 8 minute, you might have had concerns that Newcastle could have hung on in that game. They really diced with death in that game. And I think as many questions they answered in the first half, they posed plenty more for themselves and for Eddie Howe and and for the fans here today in that second half. And I think walking away, that's a massive result. It's a big 3 points. They got battered at Man City. They've got a traditionally really tough place to go as Anfield next. It's going to be tough for them there. So they had to really make hay. They had to beat Forest at home. Just to keep themselves right in the mix. But that was it doesn't really feel like, because of that second half performance, it doesn't really feel like they're going to be walking away with their heads held high or in a positive manner. But I'm interested to know your thoughts, so do you guys jump in the comments. 91 of you guys on here, 12 likes, give it a like, comment, share and subscribe if you can. Right, I'm going to jump in the comments. Nathan Page, as you saw off Nays with the first comment, huge 3 points. That second half was all over the place. Play that against Liverpool and be in for another hammering. I think that's a fair point. I genuinely think I think if they play anything like that, if they play anything like they did in the first half, they'll be alright. Play anything like they did in the second half, they'll not. And that was the kind of Jekyll and Hyde Newcastle United that we've seen. Almost like a microcosm of the season, really. The very best of what they can be and the very worst of what they can be, all in 190 minutes. It was quite incredible. EJ Danburn had a shocker second half. He did as good as he was in the first half, where he literally it was just movement, touches, etc. He was brilliant against Just watching Martin Dubravka leave the ground. It was brilliant. As brilliant he was in the first half against Chris Wood. He was really poor in the second half. EG carries on. There is a real lack of composure on the ball by a lot of players. First half was an excellent performance though. Nathan Page, quick question, Liam. No worries, I'll answer it. There's been talk of us being in a strong financial position, able to spend well in the summer. Is that your understanding of the situation? Yes, that is my understanding. I've written a piece on that. Towards the back end of the transfer window, I wrote all the information that I know on Newcastle World, and it was all about the idea of short-term pain for long-term gain. The club did not want to put themselves in a position where the vultures could come circling and take in the top players that they want to hang on to and want to continue to build a team around. So it doesn't answer any short-term questions. It doesn't really satisfy any short-term needs. But in terms of the long to medium-term health of the football club and the standing with regards to transfers, it makes it an unlikely scenario that any of the top players can leave. Of course, top players could leave this summer. But realistically, they've put themselves in such a good financial position. You could have the likes of, last summer the vultures came for Anthony Gordon, and he wasn't a million miles away from leaving the football club, which would have been a travesty. And it was all because they left a big financial hole from overspending. They basically spent the overdraft and had to pay it off. They haven't put themselves in that position now, so they are in a lot stronger position, meaning if anybody does come for Anthony Gordon this summer, the club are in no position to accept it, especially with his new contract. The same goes for Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak's got years left on his contract, and he's in a position where Newcastle don't have to accept anything. The player could even want to go, and Newcastle will be able to set a reasonable amount. Whether that be 120 million, whether that be 140 million, 150 million, whether that be 100 million, whatever it is, they'll set that price, and they'll only have to accept what they want them to pay. Chances are the kind of price that they'll set is there's probably only a select band of football clubs on the planet could afford it, and there's probably only a select band of football clubs that Isak would move to. That's why on the balance of probability it makes it unlikely. There is scenarios where that could change, things could alter. It could be the case that Real Madrid or Liverpool or Man City make an offer that Newcastle United can't refuse. There aren't many other clubs in that bracket. I think it's probably only those three that could even consider. But all would have questions. Do they need? Do they want? Would they spend? I just don't think it's very likely that he leaves. And I think it's because of the financial position Newcastle put themselves in that they're probably going to be able to ward off any interest from anybody else or anybody wanting to pay a fee that Newcastle wouldn't accept, which is sadly what would have happened to Anthony Gordon last summer. They would have to accept more than what they believe the player's worth. And it was simply to satisfy the signings that they'd made in previous windows, which was a sad situation. They're not in that position now. 151 of you guys on here, 21 likes. We've gone off-piste, totally off-piste there, Nathan Page, with your early question. But I'm happy to answer any questions if I can, from the information I know, etc. Anyway, back into the comments. Cheesy one, it's worrying how brittle our confidence is. Pico 19, well, today's performance shows we're desperate for Botman to take Burns' place. Murphy absolutely shocking, and Barnes was invisible when he came on. Barnes was pathetic for that third goal, by the way. I'm sure it was him at the front post that almost just flicked it back into the box. And he was invisible, but I'm not going to judge him on his forward performance because Newcastle United in the second half did not get out their own half. So I don't think Barnes really could have made much difference anyway. Housing gaming management is woeful. Graham Doherty, we aren't good enough to take off the gas. When we do, we start to make mistakes. Second half was a nail biter. Pico 19 again. Formation needed to change midway through the second half to combat the onslaught from Forest. Didn't come, and then two second half goals were scored from the same position, 5 yards out. We'll get battered on Wednesday. Paul Featherstone, well, that was more stressful than it should have been. We can't afford that sloppiness on Wednesday. We had a chance to dent Forest's confidence, wasted Richard Oliver. Why did we sit back in the second half and invite pressure on ourselves? Daft tactics. The two centre-halves look shaky at the moment. I'd even consider a Kraft-Botman partnership at the minute. I actually don't think Fabian Schär's been very impressive for quite some time, and I don't think he was very good today. I thought Byrne was excellent in the first half, really poor in the second half, so I do tend to agree with that one. What I would say about inviting pressure, I'll do a lot of talk about Newcastle United got one eye on the Carabao Cup. I actually think that second half they had one eye on Wednesday, which wasn't a good place to be, and they nearly paid the price for it. Paul Featherstone, Wilson so poor when he came on, he didn't even hold the ball up. Looked more interested in boosting his goal tally and thinking of the team. That last minute one, you would have been very angry for Anthony Gordon, but it doesn't really make a difference. The game was won. Richard Oliver, also at the risk of upsetting him, Bruno was hopeless in the second half there, and I absolutely agree with you. I think he was. I don't think he was the only one, would be my only take on that one. I thought there was quite a lot of hopeless players out there, but Bruno was definitely in that bracket. You don't upset us by saying anything like that, Richard Oliver. Sorry, my voice is going again. Derek Sharp, my concerns, Forest changed it, and we didn't counteract it. It didn't matter in the end, but yes, there were concerns. E.g., how often fails to respond to changes by the opposition manager during a game? What changes do you think Nuno Espirito Santo made in to his formation and system? And what do you think Howe didn't do? Because I don't think I've seen a massive amount of change in terms of personnel and approach from Forest. Although I could be wrong, I wasn't fine-tooth combing their performance. I just saw a lackadaisical Newcastle United. That would be my take. Stu Mag, 3 points is the most important thing. It is. But that second half were a proper Jekyll and Hyde. I just said that. Good shout. All played well. So happy for Miley too. When Miley has the game in front of him, and it was good to see him get the goal. When he plays forward, he's a really positive player. He just needs to really back himself and trust himself to make those forward passes and keep his first touch, keep him moving forward rather than always trying to turn backwards, which I think he's been guilty of. And that's not a criticism. It's a young lad coming into a team. He just needs to keep building that confidence, and that goal had done him the world of good. SGR, Richard Lover, AG Derek's spot on. Nuno changed it. We did nothing in response. What did he change? Because I wasn't watching Forest with a microscope. So tell us what you think he changed and what you think Eddie Howe didn't. SGR, so much to criticise, but a win is a win. That was massive for us. Derek Sharp, Howe is a good manager, but not a manager that can adapt and change. If we want to challenge, we need someone who can. Well, Charlotte, awful second half, but the result was most important today. Sean Byrne is out of his depth in this league. Richard, that's a bit harsh. I do think that's a bit harsh. I think he had a shocking second half, but I don't think he's out of his depth in this league. I think he's probably been one of Newcastle United's players this season. Richard Oliver, people are right. The 3 points was the most important thing today. My God, that second half was worryingly bad. Paul Featherstone, is it fair to say we're lacking leadership on the pitch? I'm not sure about that. David Bartel, Jekyll and Hyde performance. Tim Foyle, Heart Reality, 1984, lost total composure on that second half. The team looked nervous despite the big lead. The level was so poor all over. I think past results played a part in the nervousness. Let's hope we can build on the win and take some confidence from that result. The first half performance was very good. Tell Ross, a lot of hard work needed going forward. Could do easily have thrown it away second half. Lewis Hall was tremendous. Happy with the win in the end. Big month ahead, big prize at stake. It really is. 177 of you guys on here watching. Do give it a like. Helps share things around. You push it out to different audiences, which is what we're always trying to get. Dale the Dolphin, sick of people whinging even after wins. Poor second half, it was obviously because we were already blowing them away. I don't think Newcastle, I don't necessarily agree with that. I agree with the sentiment. I don't necessarily agree with the constructive nature of that comment though, because that would suggest Newcastle had control. I don't think they ever at any part of the second half had any control over that game, and that would be the concern. Shez, hi all, hi Liam. Hope you're well. I'm all good, apart from this bloody cold. I've had enough practice cracking walnuts, but what a deserved win, possibly a classic. Where are we at? Derek Sharp's dreading Wednesday. Phil, that was a perfect example of the game. 2 offs, it really was. Daniel Ashton, Howe needs taking off half-time talks. Yeah, possibly. Where are we at? Loads of you guys interact with you. It's always great to see in the comments. I'm always pleased to see that. Roger Cook, a canny period. In the first half we were mint for about 20 minutes, or unplayable. Second half, however, yeah, it does leave a lot to be desired. And Isaiah, dread Wembley. Please, everyone, just do not get your hopes up. These are unreliable and unprofessional. I think that's a bit harsh. Tomorrow is coming, whether you like it or not. There's no need to dread something that is an amazing opportunity for Newcastle to achieve something that they haven't done for a long time. I say embrace it. Embrace it even if they struggle in the next few games, because it's a big opportunity. Dutch Tune, Dubravka, #1 for me. I'm got to say I was disappointed to see that change made. I don't think I was the only one. Bill Real said we had to get 3 points no matter how, and we did. So job done, but they need a thorough... It sounds like you think they need a telling off. Tell Ross, Dubravka must have felt deflated. Pope not his best. Miley great first half. Derek Sharp, how does it know how to change things? Yes, we won, but if we want to be successful, we need to adapt. Shares, some will point out that we didn't play well, but we scored 4 against a team we all know have been beating all the top 6 sides. Deserved win. A few unforced errors, but 10 out of 10 for our response. I'll pick on 19. Hall is a huge football icon. He does. He's not a left back, but has ability to play there. I'd like to see Hall play further forward. Right wingers, I think he has that ability. Willock played well. I thought Willock had a really good first half, actually. Agent Text Street, the game suited him. When it's that to and fro, like both ways, it suits him, and it was a bit like that for that 20 minutes, and that's where when Willock makes the inside runs, Isak drops wide. We're seeing a little bit more of that, which we don't see often, but when Willock's in the team, he tries to do that. Claire Fenwick, my God, that second half was a shambles, but happy with the win. I have no idea what happened in the dressing room at half time. I think they just switched off. Roger Pope's first 2 kicks were good. Thereafter, mostly not so good. I've got more criticism of the first goal. I thought it was really terrible. Blip 2-1-2 Space Station here. Gosh, that was a game of 2 halves, was it not? I fear for Wednesday in Anfield and Wembley. We were so poor losing that lead. Let's hope there is a change ahead. Holy asteroids. Carl hope we play like that at Wembley, we get smashed. Both centre halves were poor. Bruno was poor. Murphy crap. Ball the best player. Rob Max take a 3-point save. Nearly second half. Ray Edgar, Cher, Byrne, Pope, absolutely shocking under pressure. I would sell Bruno. We have seen his best. Agent Tech Streams, do you think Bruno could go? I don't. Dean C starting, Pope. What was Howe's team half-time talk? Questionable. Mike Fraser, win is a win. Difficult to watch, but why Wilson didn't square the ball twice in the last 5 minutes? To coin a phrase, you're my super Lewis Hall. I thought he was the best player today for Newcastle United. Peter Griffin, I'm buzzing. Pissed off at the same time, feels weird. I'm with you on that one, with that sentiment. I'm over the moon at the moment. If you'd said to us they'll win 4-3 the day, I would have snapped your hand off before the game. I would have been delighted, even if you told us it would have happened in the manner that it did. Delighted. But watching it and living through it, it was painful. It was painful. And I can't say I've come away feeling amazingly positive, even though I'm really positive with the result. John Moodmass, Southern Journalists, Sky One, I'm not sure what you're on about, mate. Dean C, Mike check 1 2, keep on. Alex, would you rest Isak on Wednesday? No. Roger Cook, Dean C, 2 points. Sensible Monica, an excellent 3 points. But what were those second half tactics? How keeps showing his limitations? Shares, who cares what the half-time team talk was? We've won against the side of beating City, Arsenal, Chelsea. It's not our greatest game, but we've won. We're not entitled to win. Agent Tech Streams, Isak plays Wednesday, rest Sunday. Chris Smart, great results. Simple as John Woodmack. Ooh, rest. That's controversial. That's controversial. I couldn't rest him on either, to be fair. Chris Smart, great result. Simple as John Woodmass. Didn't peg you as a skier off piste. I'm not a skier at all. Roger Cook, 12 games left. Challenge. Agadius, what on the mildly spherical planet we call Earth was that? Chris Smart, I'm concerned about the final. Plenty of games between now and then, so let's wait and see before then. Like I said, it's a one-off, so I'm not going to get too concerned about it. But look, if they rock up like they did in the second half, or like they did against Man City, they'll get battered at Wembley, there's no doubt about it, off a very good Liverpool side, no matter what they do this afternoon. Liam Knowles, 3 points, move on. Best I've felt in the ground for a long time. The first half celebrations, worrying, but a good one. Good signs. Phil Cross, alright, Liam, mate, alright. Get well soon. I think I need it. I don't even notice my voice is just slowly disappearing the more talking than I do. But I've managed to hang on 19 minutes now, so we're alright, we're hanging on in there. Liam Knowles, Tino and Hall shut their game down. We lost it on corners. Shares, we need to understand that all tactics are a gamble. No manager knows outright how the opposition will be set up. Eddie reacted to good Forest changes. We took control of the game. One end of Graham Doherty. Tonali brought a bit of stability when he came on. Bruno, we offered today. I actually do agree with that. I thought when Tonali came into the team in the second half, it did sort of settle things a little bit, because the momentum when they got that second goal was really, it looked really dangerous. And Tonali came in and it just settled. It just, the two changes when he brought Bonds and Tonali on, obviously Bonds didn't really have much of an impact, but it just stunted the momentum a little bit. I think it might not change the game in terms of tactics, but I think there were changes at the right time, and it did sort of stop them in their tracks a little bit. Phil Cross, Murphy was abysmal, and he would score a mask of shot in performance one, which was the most important. Mandy Pyle, We were good for 30 minutes in the first half. We blow them away with 20 minutes, but the second half we were so poor. Forest don't normally have a lot of the ball. We made them look like Real Madrid did in the second half. DK35 Burn, horrific. Phil Cross, rather Asula came on instead of Barnes, I will say. Shares, Roger Cook, Burn played well. Dale the Dolphin, before you go, what did happen to the game? You're obviously a regular watcher, because I was going off and on one at Man City about that when people were asking the same question. And there was some quite humorous comments that made me laugh. What happened to the Andy Carroll money? Stuff like that. I love it. I love the banter. You know, I'm not shy in expressing my opinions or whatever. So do jump in, comments, whatever. But I'm not answering anything more about the Mark Giddy money. I'm not doing it. George Cronin. Any relation to Jordan? Don't know that. It's a common issue this season. We only seem capable of performing for 45 minutes. Playing Liverpool twice makes me nervous. Alex very lucky. 2 clear headers. They should have scored. What would you do? What would you do Wednesday? What would I do Wednesday? I think I would just play. I would pretty much be playing the same team. I don't think there's much alteration I'll be making. Yeah, I'll be playing the same team. I'll be starting the strongest possible 11. Liverpool 1 up already. Burn cannot pass, so keep it simple. Keeps trying to thread balls through midfield. It was terrible. Burn horrific. He's arguably our best player of the season from Shares. AJ Liam, what do you think of Tino's performance? Do you think Sandro looked a bit off the pace? I didn't think Sandro looked a bit off the pace, but although it was a small sample size, Tino's performance, I actually thought he had a good first half. I thought there was a lot of opportunity for him and Murphy on the right hand side, but Murphy was very poor for the first 20, then settled into the game. I thought the real danger came down the left. I thought Hall and Gordon in that first half were outstanding, and I think Newcastle United blitzed them on the flanks rather than anywhere else. What Forest managed to do in the second half, which it did in the first, was really get a grasp of the game in midfield. And Newcastle United didn't really come close to countering that. That was my take on it. Carissa Putru one do you know? Honestly, I'm sorry. My brain is fried. I can't pronounce English words, never mind names from elsewhere. Hi there from Indonesia. Honestly, it's amazing to see everybody watch from all over the world. Incredible stuff. Great to see you guys, and hello from Newcastle, because you're asking where we are now. Keith Lowe, poor old Callum, when the football leaves you, it's sad to see. Do you think so? Maybe. John Shields, Young Miley and Hall were very controlled players in the game. Shane Murphy couldn't do the same. Paul Featherson, bring back Dubravka. Chris Moore, we need to sack Eddie Howe ASAP. Favours average British players. That's a harsh take. Liam Knowles, 5% drop in intensity second half killed us. Chris Moore, Dubravka has been our best player, yet he drops him because of his nationality. I don't think Eddie Howe, saying that to do with Eddie Howe's nationality. Eddie Howe dropped players on nationality. I don't think that's the case at all. Derek Sharp, if we need to cash in on one player, it's Bruno. I don't think we need to cash in on anybody, man. Why do people stop? What do they need to cash in on anybody for? Stop it. Chris Benmore, we should have lost 5-4. Very negative. Very negative. Very negative. You know, the one at the end of the day, it was a far from perfect. Second half, just watching Callum Wilson get some photos of somebody. Must be somebody's birthday in one of the boxes, I think. Gary Douglas, the big question was, what was said at half time? I have no idea. Carissa Puchu, Wanodio, Shira Long Robert, Shola Mobi, Shea Given. You love the two players of old? Very much. I love them too. Conchom Bar Nessa. Heads were gone second half, lack of intensity is scary. Tell Ross, playing Botman back before Wembley with Joe Linton. We need to up our game. I'll take a win in every game, no matter how we get it. Jack McGreevy, I see you. I'm in St James's Park. You see me, Jack? Are you somewhere up here? I've no idea. I'm looking around. I don't see you, but I hope you did enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the game. Louise Hall, not Lewis Hall. Liverpool win 1-0. Jack McGreevy on opposite side of the stadium. Opposite side of the stadium. No idea. I think you'll be long gone before now. Anyway, hello to you. Silly Goose, who put Matt Sells in the back of the net? Look at that penalty, man. A penalty was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. If you're a goalkeeper, you can choose to face a penalty. It would be a soft side foot straight down the middle that you could literally have headed back out. It was pathetic. And I've seen people rave so much about Matt Sells this season. Is it because Forest have had a good defence in front of him? I'm not sure. Because every time I've seen him play against Newcastle United, he's been utter tripe. It just reminds us of the Matt Sells that Rafa signed. He must have had some good games, but he definitely doesn't pick them for Newcastle United. Dean C, Sky commentator, was a Forest fan, blatantly biased. Chris Benoit, Anthony Gordon is over. Oh, Chris Benoit, man, get in the bin. You're putting a lot of time and effort into some negative comments. Anthony Gordon's class, man. Shares, how great is it to have a young local lad in Miley and trust being able to fill Tonali's boots when needed? A very different kind of player, Shares. That's the biggest win for me. Paul Fellas to Liverpool 1-0 up, just under 7 up on top 4. Hassan Khalik, do you think we can win at Anfield? I wouldn't back it. I wouldn't be putting my house on it. But play like they did in the second half. No, play like they did in the first half. I think they could score goals against Liverpool. I do have concerns about balls over the top against this Newcastle backline. I do. Silly Goose, Smiley coming for Rice's England spot. Andy H, great dedication, Liam. Look, I'm always dedicated to the grind, mate, and I appreciate your thumbs up as well. Dean say greetings from Kingston Park. Top stuff, mate. James Brighton, missed the first half to have a family lunch. Some days I wish I was an orphan. That's a bit random. David Cook just in trying to avoid watching it but failed. Sounds like a bum squeaker towards it. It was. Roger Cook, spot the trolley. I've seen him. I read a couple and that's the end of that. Chris Phillips, yet again 2 different teams. Well done, Newcastle United. Crack on. Silly Goose says Chris Benoit is on his break at Nissan. Maybe he's full of energy. Mandy Pyle Anderson was very good for them. He was very good. He's a very good. Do you know what? I was talking to the lads about this in the game. He started every game with 3 of their Premier League games this season, and he's only scored 1 goal. And that would be my only thing about Ali Anderson. He's a fantastic player, and anybody who regularly watches Georgia knows how much I rate him and how much I like him. Sorry, but he's only scored 1 goal in 20-odd starts in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest this season, despite playing really well. I think his game needs to be remodelled to become that hard-working, tough-tackling defensive midfielder, which he can be actually, but is so far away from the number 10 who came through at the academy level. Anybody who's seen him at that level is so silky with a drop of the shoulder and beating a man, and he's so far from that. He just doesn't look capable of. If he can somehow make that switch and score goals and create goals at this level in the Premier League, what a player he'll be. He just doesn't seem to be able to take that step. I hope he does. I was devastated when he left because I think he's a very, very good player. Ray Edgar, we need to cash in on people in order to buy new centre backs. We don't. E.g., I was so relieved when it was only 3 minutes out of time. I know it was a concern. Magpie 24/7. Nick Pope was woeful. Miley and Byrne and Hall class. What does Eddie say at half time? Why do they never come on firing in the second half games? SGR, you'd think we'd lost. Forest are a really decent team and we beat them. It took a lot from us and clearly we have so much work to do. Betting Johnson 7 goals let in 2 games isn't good enough. Alex, Champions League spot or League Cup? For me, League Cup. Tony was Yasser Moran in the crowd today, Liam. If so, when's the stadium decision? Thanks for all you do, Liam. I appreciate it. Yes, he was, and he was having a kick about on the pitch. Do check out the Newcastle United WhatsApp. I'll put the link in the comments below this. I'll put a video on the WhatsApp. I think I might have put it on Twitter as well and on the Facebook page, so do check it out. But yeah, he was here. When do I expect a decision? I don't have any info on when the decision will be made. But I know I can't put a time scale on it really. I can't, unfortunately. Shaw's underperforming according to Petras Glibus. Shares Liam, I agree with Miley is different from Tonali, but he's not entirely different. He's able to put in a shift to close down passing lanes, muscle off 50-50s and spot a pass ahead of more. It's not bad. No, he's a very good player, I agree. Jason Petit, I found that second half embarrassingly poor, to be honest. I agree. No composure, unable to resist the press, turning the ball over, Byrne and Share were a cork or second half more. They were, Mark Hunter, yeehaw! 3 massive points from Houston, Texas. Quality. Pete Davey, mate, our friend of the channel, get in lane. Big 3 points, which is all that matters today. Need to play better for 90 minutes though. However, the lads, both Ellison and Anderson was naughty first half. Slapped Murphy before the goal. George Cronin, not related to Jordan Cronin. I'm a Wall's End Cronin. So, what? What are you on about, George? Where do you think Jordan's a Wall's End Cronin too? I prefer Champions League, apart from the Mickey Mouse. I don't want to be in the Mickey Mouse conference competition. I'll take any Europe, to be fair. Graham TC Travels, ridiculous second half performance. How can we turn that second half performance in and hope the lads push Europe on, push Eddie on his thoughts on second half? I'm not in a press conference, so I can't push him on anything. Really should have come out wanting to score at least 2 more. The goal difference, Jason Petit. How can Polk justify a start next week? Awful position for the first, failure to control his area for the second. Kicker was woeful. Lorenzo, what about Dubravka or Dushka post transfer? I don't know. Dean, need the WhatsApp group name. I'll put it in the comments below. I will, because we do fire. Me and Jordan fire lots of little bits in there. Derek Sharp, Pope for transfer swap in the summer. Silly Goose asked if Adam P set off his walk Liverpool. You'll have to ask him that, Roger Cook. Just reply to somebody else. Right, I've done half an hour. I think you'll commend us. I'm mustering through. Soft lad here. Managed to get through with his cold. My voice has managed to hold out. But look, it was 3 points. It's all that matters. If you'd said 3 points before the game, I would have snapped your hand up. Look, we wouldn't have chosen it the manner it did. We answered questions in the first, probably posed a few more in the second. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. But it was 4 goals and it was 3 more points and up to 5th in the league, and I'll take that. I'll take that at the end of it. Right, everybody, much appreciated. Love being on with you guys, and you won't get one at Liverpool because I'm not there, unless you desperately want me to do a live from the house and we'll all have a chat and all get involved. Do let us know in the comments if you do think that. Drop us a message in that respect and I'll see what we can maybe do it. And then definitely Brighton won't be, because I'll be here with my kids. We'll be enjoying it because I was successful in the ballot, and I have been for virtually every game this season. Luckily, I know there's a lot of talk, that sort of thing going on. Right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you possibly the next one if it's what you wanted. I'm just seeing Tony coming in and say yes, do one from the house lane. I might actually, if there is enough interest and you guys do want it, you know where I am on Twitter as well. So drop us a message if you do want us to do it. I might consider doing one just to have a bit crack after the game. Anyway, good night, good evening, whatever time you watch this, and I'll see you in the wider, the bit more deeper analysis video coming up. Cheers, guys.